Republican presumptive nominee Donald Trump entering June with just $1.3 million in the campaign bank. According to filings released by the Federal Election Commission, the same filings show Hillary Clinton's campaign cash reserve at 32 times his, with $42.5 million. This as the Democratic presumptive nominee and her allies have invested at least $41 million towards a series of television ads in crucial swing states. Trump's campaign has yet to make a single general election ad buy. Joining us now is Republican strategist and former Reagan-Bush National Campaign Director Ed Rollins. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
How are you? Thank you.
So what do you make of this money situation between the two candidates?
Big trouble. Being perfectly honest, I used to be chairman of the Congressional Committee, and if I had a House race today that basically came in with that kind of figure in June, I'd take him off the target list.
Corey Lewandowski was here just a few moments ago, and up till yesterday, he was leading his campaign, and he said it's no big deal. He said Donald Trump can put that kind of money into his campaign at any point, should he choose.
He may very well, but part of the problem is he keeps saying, I'm going to put that kind of money in, which makes it very difficult for donors and someone like myself that's trying to raise money for him in a super PAC. People say, well, if he says he can buy it himself, let him put the money in.
Ed, one of the things that I was looking for is Donald Trump has lent the campaign $40 million, but he has not said, and please correct me if I'm wrong, he has not said that he would just give that to the campaign, that he wouldn't try to get repaid by the campaign. So is that sort of the problem with the donor class to the campaign? They don't want to give money to the campaign thinking that he's just going to use the money to repay himself?
That's a part of it, and obviously that's an option. I don't think there's going to be any money for him to pay himself back, but the critical thing here is after Indiana, the party started coming behind him, and they were all ready to go. Then he had his judge comment in California, which absolutely really put a spear through the heart of a lot of donors. What kind of a candidate are we going to have? And the people we're going after now are big money guys, and they're investors. And there's not an automatic great love for Donald Trump. They know him well. They want him as opposed to Hillary. But at this point in time, they're not ready to open the checkbooks. And there's a bunch of guys that basically have said to me, you know, if it works out and gets going here, I'll give you some money. Obviously, he has to raise a ton of money for his own campaign, and he's down to a point where he's got 4 more weeks that he can get $2,700 for the big donors for the primary, and then he's in a general, and then he's got $2,700 from them. So it's real hard. He's got to raise probably $150 million, $200 million just to basically pay his staff, fly his airplane, buy his hats, and do that stuff without media. And what he keeps dismissing as the $1 billion, that's all about television. That's about paid advertising, and he thinks he doesn't need paid advertising, can go on Fox and CNN and everything else, which is fine, except if 24 hours a day you're being hammered by Hillary and Hillary's team and her super PACs, pretty soon the message is being driven by them, not by you.
Right, you can't avoid Hillary Clinton if you're watching Bravo, for Pete's sake, or Law and Order reruns on TNT, because the ads are there, and his ads aren't yet there. Because
there are no ads. He doesn't even have an ad team up yet. But, you know, it's not too late. He's got a month, but just getting ready for the convention. The convention is right now chaotic, and there's a lot of work that has to be done, and I think at the end of the day he's slid back on the polls. So again, the big donor class are investors, and at this point in time they don't want Hillary, but they're not quite sure.
Ed, I'm hearing a pervasive sense of gloom coming from you. You're the consummate political professional. If you are this gloomy, it feels like...
Let me say this. Rather than gloomy, I'm realistic. And to me, you got to fix it.
Okay. So talking about the other side here, Senator Elizabeth Warren, lots of speculation about who's going to be Hillary Clinton's running mate. Well, Warren visited Hillary Clinton's campaign headquarters in Brooklyn last week, fueling speculation that she may be the potential vice presidential pick for Hillary. But big Wall Street donors are threatening to cut the Democratic presumptive nominee's fundraising if she picks Warren as her running mate. Meanwhile, on the other side, Donald Trump continuing his attacks on Warren, repeatedly calling the senator Pocahontas, saying on Fox News, the O'Reilly factor, that calling Warren by that name is only demeaning to the renowned Native American.
I do regret calling her Pocahontas because I think it's a tremendous insult to Pocahontas.
Right.
So to Pocahontas, I would like to apologize to you.
Ed?
you know, if he wants to be a stand-up comic, he's working hard at that line. He's got great lines. At the end of the day, if Elizabeth Warren ends up on the ticket, she will basically energize a lot of the Bernie Sanders supporters, but certainly will energize a lot of the anti. And my sense is, I don't think Hillary's going to pick someone. She wants compatibility, and certainly Warren is sitting there every day looking at that chair that Hillary would be looking in and saying, you know, I may challenge her 4 years from now. I don't know who we're going to pick. Corey was the guy who was basically in charge of picking somebody, so I hope before he left, he wrote out. And let me
Fair
just,
point.
Let me just say,
He took good notes.
let me just say this about Corey. I think you know, there's always chaos in campaigns, and I've been in chaos. As my good friend here in the end, who's worked on a campaign with me. The campaign manager.
Several of them.
The campaign manager kind of always gets blamed at the end of the day. I think Corey did a very effective job with limited money getting them as far as they've gone. And Paul Manafort, who I've known for a long time, is a talent, but it's not magic. It's about Trump at this point in time. It's not too late. He obviously has a weakened candidate, but on the other side, but he's got to get this thing going and going fast.
Ed Rollins and I have actually been through worse than the Trump campaign together. We've been through a couple of these together.
Yes, we have.
And it can get chaotic, and I mean, here we are.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
In your instances, did it get fixed?
No.
Well, that's uplifting.
No, but I got Ed out of it, so
Absolutely.
that was great.
Absolutely.
All right. Ed Rollins, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Still